Hello everybody. As we have done, I'm not able to take live classes right now due to some problems in my family. Health issues are going on right now. So for the time being, you are requested to have these recorded sessions of mine. So yesterday we have started the concept of Muslim properties. When I was telling you the concept of Muslim property, I have told you yesterday we have done that Muslim property basically can be divided into uh, four people. So it is sharers who will obtain the Muslim property, residuaries, then it's a distant kingdom, and last is a state. These persons are eligible. So first of all, sharers. We have done yesterday the concept of sharer. So there is a list of 24 people, 12 people right now who are sharers. This list I will be delivering to you. I will mailing you, not mailing you, the WhatsApping you by today or by morning. There is similarly the list of residuaries also. There are 24 residuaries. I will sending a list of these also. And thereafter distant kingdom and state. These we will not be doing because there is not important for judicial perspective. But we are doing sharers. We have done the doctrine of al in that, right? There is doctrine of al, which is known as doctrine of increase, and we have done how the property is distributed between the sharers. Then it's a residuaries. That is the remaining part goes to residuaries. But we have also studied that there are certain person who become residuary. For example, father when become residuary, and daughter in the presence of son become residuary, and so on. So when the property is supposed property is gone to sharer, no? And if remaining property will go to residuaries. Okay. But there are certain people where the residuaries are not existing. Okay, there are people where residuaries are not existing. No issue. Neither one of them. Residuaries are not existing. What to do in this situation? That means property has been distributed to the sharers, but as such, direct residuaries is not existing. In such situation, what happened? We return the property to the sharers, who has turned out to be residuaries. Okay. There may be a situation where the person who has taken as a sharer also, first of all, and thereafter the property is to be returned. Okay. Why it has to be returned? Because yes, for example, there is, let us take an example of it. Let's, for example, A, B, C, they have taken as a sharer, and some portion has been left. This has been left. Now it have to go to residuaries, and there are no residuaries except A himself or B. For example, they are father and daughter who turn residuaries, and who are residuaries. Okay, that means property going back to them, returning back to them. This is done by doctrine of Rath. This is a doctrine of Rath. This is the third situation where the property goes back where it comes from. Okay, so this is known as doctrine of Rath. So I want you to write upon doctrine of Rath, and we will not do it how it will go back, what is the formula also. But I want you to write what do you mean by doctrine of Rath, because they may ask the question. So please, doctrine of Rath is a situation. Let me switch off my camera because so that my voice clarity may come clear. It may be clear now. That is a situation where the total number of fractions, of a property is more than the total number of shares, and there is no residuary. Had there been a residuary, the remaining property would have gone to the residuary. would have gone to the residuaries. But in absence of the extra, but in absence of the extra, oh sorry, in absence of the residuary, but in absence of the residuary, the extra property has to be returned to the sharers only, but into the proportion of their respective claims as Quran identifies. Full stop. Paragraph change. While applying the doctrine of Rad, the widow, husband, will not participate as a sharer. Whereas in Shias, along with the wife, and husband, mother will not also get the share. Right. Another topic. So this is we'll be doing in interstate succession. We have to start with a fresh topic. This fresh topic will be preemption right. Rights of preemption. What do you mean by preemption right in Muslims? This is another property right exists in the Muslims, which is known as preemptory rights. Right. Right of preemptions. Muslims, there exists a right of preemption also. What do you mean by right of preemption is also known as haq shufa. The right of preemption is also known as haq shufa in Muslim. What do you mean by preemption? Try to understand. For example, this is two people A and B. We know this preemption right. We have studied also while studying Limitation Act also, but I am giving the basic things. For example, A and B are two neighbors. They are neighbors. A want to sell the property. A want to sell his property. Right. We have the right to claim property from A as a first preference. This is known as haq shufa. Preemption. That means your neighbor or your co-sharer or a co-tenant have a first right upon the property if you are selling it. Okay, this right is very feeble right in Hindu law, but in Muslim law it used to be a very high profile and very strong right. Do still exist, but to some extent it has been it has become feeble here also. But as a Hindu Muslim law, we have to study this. To haq shufa, it's a right of a nearby person, neighbor, to claim the property from a person who want to sell it. So suppose A want to sell the property, so obviously he can sell it to anyone. But out of this, B will have the first preference. But it does not mean that B will force him to sell it at any price. No, we have to follow other ingredients also. Suppose the value of the price is 1 crore rupee and C is giving 1 crore rupee. So obviously A will also be B will also be giving 1 crore rupees. But when both are giving same consideration, A will have a preference over, or B will have a preference over the C. This preferential right is known as haq shufa or right of preemption. Okay. So, for example, in Muslims, who can claim this right? To whom? And this is being completely given as per this. The Mughals brought up this idea, and now this is followed by Muslims. So what this happened? So let us pick up in Hake Shufa. We pick up Hake Shufa. Hake Shufa is of three types. So there are three people who have Hake Shufa. That is known as Safiye, Shafiye, Sharik, Shafiye, Jar, and Shafiye Khalid. So Muslim law Hake Shufa is being given to three type of people: Shafiye Sharik, Shafiye Jar, and Shafiye Khalid. What do you mean by they could try to understand when they such type of people? That means A and B, they are what? Co-sharer. They are known as co-sharer. Muslim law call them Shafiye, Shafiye Sharik. So they say co-sharer have Hake Shufa, that is who are co-sharer, co-owner, co-sharer or co-owners. Muslim law called them Shafiye Sharik. Then another people are people enjoying. What is it? This is CD stair. This is stair. So people having A and B have common right to enjoyment. For example, A have this house, A house. This is the house of B, and in between they have well. A pick up the pani water from here, and B also pick up the water from here. Water from well. Yeah, they're having common enjoyments of the property. Common enjoyment of property. So when the people are having common enjoyment of the property, they are known as Shafiye Khalid. They are known as Shafiye Khalid. So this is Shafiye Sharik means they are common co-owners. Shafiye Khalid means having a common enjoyment, and another is this is what? This is neighbor, mere neighbors. They are mere neighbors. They are called as Shafiye Jar. So in Muslim law, this is Shafiye Sharik, Shafiye Khalid, and Shafiye Zar are the person who have right of preemption. Okay. Now we'll pick up one by one and try to understand how this rights varies in each. So let us pick up Shafiye Shari first, that is co-owner or co-sharers. Okay. And then we will move towards to another perspective. Screen has been posted, just wait. I'll establish the screen. Resume. Right. It's been resumed. So let us pick up and try to find out what do you mean by Shafiye Shari. So we'll pick up one by one. Rights of preemption with Shafiye Shari. That is co-owner or co-sharer. Co-owner or co-sharer. I will divide these two into two parts. In Shia and in Sunni. In Sunni, they have absolute right, no restriction. They have the right of preemption. Without a restriction. Right. In Sunni, Shafiye Sharik have right to preemption without restriction. But here in Shias, this right of preemption have some restriction. What this? What I will say, I will say कि let us limit the restrictions and let us pick up uh, the, it also have a right to preemption. It have a right to preemption. Okay, but maximum people to claim preemption is 2. We will pick up this thing. Is 2. We will try to understand this. So let us we will differentiate both in Hindu, in Muslim, Sunni and Shia. Suppose this is the first easiest example. A and B. A have sold the property to B. Sorry. So A sold the property to Mr. X. So obviously B have a right of preemption, but instead of selling to B, he asked. Obviously, B always asked first. So we will go into that part also. B then can ask. So there is a rule that he will make claim. How he will make the claim, we will understand that part also. But what he is then, A has sold the property to X. B have a, okay, this B have a right to claim the property even from the X. B can claim preemption even from Mr. X. This is Safi Sharik. In Safi Sharik, this happens. Okay. But in Safi Sharik, let us pick up another example. Suppose this is a situation. Can be possible. A, B, and C. No. We sell the property to X. We sell the property to X. Now, who have a right to claim the property? Who can claim the property? Both can claim the property. On both A and C can claim the property from X. Suppose both claims, who will get the property? Both claims, who will get the property? If both the people claim the property, who is the person who will get the property? Property will be distributed equally. Property will be divided equally. Property will get divided equally. So how he will get the property? This property will be divided equally among the claimants, right? Right. So this property will be distributed equally among them. Third situation, let me pick up the third situation. Suppose the situation is this: A, B, C, and this is C. C sold his property to X. Property to X. Who can claim the property? Both A and B can claim. Both A and B can claim. Right. But suppose both claims, who will get the property? B will get the property, not A. B will get the property being more close. So in such situation where the preemption is being created by a person, Shaki Sharif, and more than two preemptors are claiming, so more than one preemptor is claiming, then the most nearest Either if both are nearest, it will be equally divided. If it is not both, the most nearest will get the property. Third situation, which I use right here, that maximum claimant must be 2. What does it mean? Suppose the situation is this. Suppose the situation is this. This is the property A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Suppose this is the property and D sells the property to X. Now question is, who can claim the property? And there I have the difference. In Shias, no right of preemption now. No right of preemption. There will be no right of preemption in Shias. Why? Because the number of claimants are more than 2. So in Shias, the Shafiya Sharif, the right of preemption regarding Shafiya Sharif stand up to 2 preemptors only. If it exceeds 2, they don't have right of preemption. Here the right of preemptors are more. In Shias they will not get a right of preemption. Whereas in Sunni, it will be distributed equally. It will be distributed equally among both. Right. Another question. Who is next is Shafiya Khalid. This one is Shafiya Khalid. What do you mean by Shafiya Khalid? We have understand who are Shafiya Khalid. Common enjoyments. In Shia, no preemption. So in Shias, there cannot be preemption in Shafiya Khalid. In Sunnis have right of preemption. Same as we discussed earlier. Preemption. So in Shias, Shafiya Khalid does not have right of preemption. Same third is Shafiya Jar. Shafiya Jar. In Shias, we know what is Shafiya Jar, mere neighbors. Shafiya Jar, no right of preemption. So in Shias, Shafiya Jar does not have any right of preemption, whereas in Sunnis, they used to have the right of preemption. Now it is declared unconstitutional. Declared unconstitutional. So this also does not. So now at today, what we know, there is only Shafiya Sharik, which have right of preemption in Muslims, and neither Shafiya Khalid and Shafiya Jar will have right of preemptions. Okay. So what do you mean by right of preemption? Right of a neighbor, right of a close one to claim the property. But this right of neighbor now limited towards what? A co-owners only or co-sharers only. And in Sunnis to an extent, on in Shia only up to the 2 claimant maximum. Third claimants they will not have a right to claim the property. So let us write okay, Safiya Jar and all this, and then thereafter we will try to find out how this is to be claimed. The process of claiming preemption. So let's write out and फिर उसके बाद write it out. The concept of Akeshufa is related to right of a person. The concept of Akeshufa is related to right of a person to purchase an immovable property of neighbor if such neighbor desires to sell his property to a third person, this concept has been taken from the Roman laws brought in India, Roman laws by Mughals. The word shufa, the word shufa means, the word shufa means the increase. The word shufa means the increase. That is, that is, the neighbor had, that is, the neighbor had the right, the neighbor had the right to increase his property. Full stop. Paragraph change. The right to property, the right to property is a constitutional right. The right to property is a constitutional right under Article 300 capital A, under Article 300 capital A of the Constitution, and therefore it is considered that, this right of preemption, this right of preemption is an interference, interference to one's right to property, and one's right to property, and 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 accordingly, and accordingly this this right have limited applications, and a simple a simple neighbor or a person enjoying some common benefits cannot claim hakishifa, and it is a personal right, which cannot be transferred, and it is a personal right which cannot be transferred. Full stop. ठीक है, पैराग्राफ चेंज करो. लिखो preemption rights in Muslims. Preemption rights in Muslims. First, in Shias, the right of preemption or hakishufa. In Shias, the right of preemption or hakishufa is available only to co-sharers or two or more persons inheriting the property from the propositors, that is co-owners, propositors, and it is adjoining, and it is adjoining. Full stop. Both the co-sharer have a right, of preemption against each other if the property is being sold out, to third person. Okay. Full stop. The rule in Shia is that if there are more than two preemptors, in Shias, the rule is that if there are more than two preemptors, then the right of preemption will get defeated, and if there are less than two preemptors, or if there are two preemptors, then the nearest preemptor will be preferred over the other. And if both the preemptors are at same position, the property will be divided equally. The property will be divided equally. Right. बस इसके अलावा वो it is not available to Safiya Jar or Safiya Sharik or Khalik. We are not doing that. But let us understand who will be the parties to this preemption. So remember, the parties in the sense how you can claim the preemption. So if you remember, let me make a chart for you. It will be easy for you. So if I will say parties to the preemption, who can be party to the preemption? So how you can make a preemption? There are certain things. So I will say parties to the preemption. Let it be parties to the preemption. So parties to the preemption can be three. So I will say parties to preemption. Obviously, parties of preemption can be vendor, that is a person who sells the property, vendee, to whom the property is being sold out, and the preemptors. And the preemptor, that is a person who is claiming the property. Person claiming the property. Person claiming property. Okay. So it can be vendor, vending, and the person who is claiming the property. So who is a vendor? There is a situations. Vendor must be Muslim. So your co-sharer, in order to claim this property, your co-sharer must be Muslim. That is, vendor should be. Stop it. I can stop it. Resume the share. I am resuming it. Just hold it. Right. So, then vendor must be Muslim. Vendee can be any, but the preemptor must be Muslim. So in order to take the benefit of Akishufa, both the vendor and the preemptor must be Muslim. This situation keeps changing with Shias and Sunnis. Let us make a chart for it. For example, there is a vendor. I will divide this vendor into. Let the vendor is Muslim. No, it's a Muslim. Shia. For Muslim Shia, preemptor is also Muslim Shia. Vendee can be any person. Okay. What is the law of preemption? Law of preemption. Who can claim? Shafi'i Sharik. It is only Shafi'i Sharik who can claim, right? So if both, similarly it's Sunni, preemptor is Sunni, vendee can be any person. Who can claim? Sharik and Khalid. We have done this. It is Sharik who can claim, or it's a Khalid who can claim this. Okay. But suppose this is Shia and he is Sunni, or this is Sunni, this is Shia. Vendee can be any person. They must, who can claim in this? It should be only Sharik. Sharik. That is only co-sharer. They must be co-sharer. So what is the law of preemption? So when one Sunni claims for one other Sunni, he can be Shafi'i Sharik or Shafi'i Khalid. They can claim. But in Shias, they must be both Muslim and only Shafi'i Sharik, then they claim. But if one is a Sunni and another is a Shia, whether vendee or vendor, vendee or preemptor, vice versa, then it is only Shafi'i Sharik who can claim, not one, nobody else. Okay. So it is only Shafi'i Sharik. In Sunnis, it is Shafi'i Khalid. Otherwise, it is only Shafi'i Sharik who have a right to claim the property. Right. How you will claim property? What is the process? claiming the property, that is important. What is the process of claiming the property? Claiming preemption. So what is the process that by which you will claim the preemption? Okay. So while claiming the preemption, you have to make 3 demands. The process of claiming the preemption is a demand. You have to make 3 demands. One is demand first, then demand second, then demand third. So you have to make 3 demands. First demand is known as talab-e-muwasit. Okay, talab-e-muwasit. Then another is known as talab-e-ishad. Talab-e-ishad. And last is known as talab-e-tanweek. So these 3 demands, so you have to make talab-e-wasiyat, talab-e-ishad, and talab-e-tanweek. What is talab-e-muwasiyat? It is the first demand you have to make. Just right. What is talab-e-muwasiyat? Screen is working or not? Screen is working. Right. Talab-e-muwasiyat. And this is the first demand. It can be oral or written. So preemptor have to make oral or written demand either to the vendor or vendee. It can ask any person. What? I want to buy the property. By itself. This demand can be made by itself or agent. So any person who Shafiya Sharik or Safiya Khalid want to buy the property, he make a first demand, that is known as talab-e-muwasiyat, and he will ask either the vendor or the vendee, please sell the property to me or resell the property to me, and I have a right of preemption and I have to claim it. This is the first demand. It can be orally or written. This demand can be oral or written. Then second demand will be, second demand. This demand must be made in front of 2 witnesses. If suppose on first demand that person does not sell the property, then he will make a second demand in front of 2 competent witnesses. Okay, and that must be Muslim. So he will take, this can be oral or written. Don't worry, it can be oral or written. So he can make an oral or written demand, but this time not only agent, rather he have to make the demand in front of at least 2 witnesses who should know Muslim. This is known as talab-e-ishad. And that is third demand. This is a civil suit. Now he will file a civil suit, which is known as third demand, that is talab-e-ishad. Okay. So after talab-e-ishad, they will make a talab-e-tanweek. Talab-e-tanweek mein, it's a queue. Talab-e-tanweek mein what he will do? He will file a civil suit. The time period for filing suit is 1 year. That is Article 97 of Indian Limitation Act. So this all the demands have to be from very first day of sale, from the sale of the property. Yani from that point where you get the right of preemption, at that point till the filing of suit, you have to do all this 3 demands is to be completed within 1 year. So जैसे property sale हुआ, first of all you make a talab-e-muwasiyat, and you claim it either orally or written. Written is more preferable. Then if he does not return it, demand it, whether 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, you just claim another talab-e-ishad after 1 month. If does not do, you After 1 month, you make talabe tanbi. All these three demands has to be made within 1 year. That is, suit has to be filed. Suit of preemption has to be filed within 1 year. That is, okay, then only you will have right of preemption. Otherwise, you will not have the right of preemption. So this is the right of preemption and how you will claim the right of preemption. So let us write upon this. Okay, write upon these three demands and we will end up the topic. So let us write upon this. Talab Muvasiyat. Talab Muvasibat. It is a first demand. It is a first demand and has to be made. Talab Muvasiyat. It is a first demand and has to be made promptly. Has to be made promptly as far as possible. Comma. Soon after the sale. Soon after the sale has been finalized by the vendor, or soon after the date of soon after the information of sale has been received by the vendee or the preemptor. Any demand any demand made before the registry of a sale will be considered as premature demand, and therefore the first demand, that is talab e muwasiyat, must be made after the registry of a sale deed. After the sale deed. This demand must be made specifically, either orally or in written, personally or through agent. What is required? What is required in a demand? What is required in a demand is the intention. Is the intention of a preemptor to claim preemption rights. That is, the preemptor must clearly. That is, preemptor must clearly state that he must clearly state that he want to repurchase the property as a preemption right, and mere filing an injunction suit or suit of declaratory decree, mere filing a suit, injunction suit or suit of declaratory decree will not serve the purpose of the vendor, preemptor, sorry, will not serve the purpose of the preemptor. Paragraph change. Talab-e ishat. Talab-e ishat. After the first demand, if the property, is not being sold to the preemptor, then without any unreasonable delay, preemptor have to demand again his right of preemption. Full stop. This is known as talab-e ishat. Or talab-e takrir. TAQRIR. Talab-e takrir. Full stop. The manner of demand will be the repetition of first demand, but in this demand two Muslim competent witnesses are required. To be present. Full stop. It is not It is not only the competent witness which are required. It is not only competent witness which are required to be present. Rather, 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 preemptor must show his intention. The preemptor must show his intention to make the payment of the sold out property. Talab tanbeek. Right. This means you can write. This is the third demand in which the preemptor have to file a civil suit into the court. This is to be made within 1 year. This is to be made within 1 year from the date of. This is to be made within 1 year from the date of sale, as per Article 97 of Indian Limitation Act. Right. So I have done a 1 hour class, approximately nearby 1 hour class. I'm trying to be online as soon as possible. But if I'm not able to come up within my next 2 to 3 days, I might not be available. So, but I will be uploading these videos anyhow. Whenever I will be get time, 1 hour time, I will make video and I will upload it and I will message you. Keep on watching it. Till then, I'm trying to find out some solution for it because there is some medical issue with my father. So I'm going to hospital go and fro every time. Moreover, I have already been pre-fixed some webinars. I have to be here at 4, so I have to go in the morning. Early in the morning, I leave for my father health, and then I come, and again I have to leave for in the evening. So whenever in between I'm getting time, I'm making a videos for you people, so that your study should not get affected. Still, I will try to come live as soon as possible. But till then, please try to make adjustments with this. Okay. Thank you very much. If you're having any issues and any topic which has not been clear to you, you keep on writing the questions and queries. Whenever I will get a time in between, I will take a 1 hour class and we will clear the issues which have been raised during these videos, which you are not clear with this, right? Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. I will make new videos and that also, right? Till then, thank you.